Good evening, everyone, and congratulations to the Oregon Ducks who move on. They will next play Michigan in Kansas City in the round of 16. Our student athlete guests are Tyler Dorsey and Dylan Ennis, along with the head coach, Dana Altman. Coach, let's begin with you. Quick question. You had a couple of runs in the second half that really turned the tide in this game. What were some of the ingredients that went into that?
I think, the difference in the game, the first half, our turnovers really put us in a bad hole. We had 10 turnovers, and they scored 16 points off of those turnovers. The second half, we had 4 turnovers, and they only got 5 points off those turnovers. So I thought that was really significant. The second stat that really jumps out at you is we had 22 second chance points, and none bigger than when we missed the free throw and Jordan Bell got a rebound and Dylan Brooks missed a shot, and we were down 4, and then down 3, and then Tyler hit the big 3 to tie it up. I thought that was possession of the game. So it wasn't pretty game to watch. It was kind of ugly, both teams getting after each other. Their defensive pressure and athleticism on the perimeter really gave us problems. Our guards, Tyler didn't do much wrong offensively, but he had 4 turnovers. Peyton had 4. Dylan Ennis had 3. So their pressure on the perimeter did bother us. But other than that, I thought our guys, made the plays when they had to, got the stops when they had to. They shot the ball 60% in the first half and only 40% in the second half. So I really think, again, we take the turnovers out of that, and we played okay. But those turnovers really did make a big difference in the game.
If you wish to ask a question, please raise your hand. We will bring a microphone to you. Mason and Noel will handle those duties. Howie, let's start with you.
For Dylan, Tyler, obviously a very emotional game, intense back and forth. Was their defense everything that you expected?
Yeah. Coach told us that they were going to get up, in the passing lanes, pressure us, really far away from the basket. I think once we started running our plays and, getting through what we planned, that's when we had success. We stopped having success when we stopped sharing the ball, stopped being strong with the ball. So, I think, when we finally, got used to it and, played together, we're successful.
You, sir.
Jermaine Franklin with TSN. Phenomenal game, Tyler. But I'll ask Dylan about a specific play. On the game-tying shot by Tyler Dorsey, you were able to keep that play alive. And we were just talking about your yeoman's work and how important it is. Can you talk a little bit about the importance of that? And if I could get Coach Dana to talk about that sort of play in the keys to win, in keys to a big victory like that.
Yeah, Coach is always on me, being that guy to do little things, whether that's deflection, that's a rebound. That's my job, and I love it. I know I could do it really good, and, getting that extra shot for us, was big. But, it's a team effort. I'm just, working as hard as I can. Coach has the confidence in me to play me and keep me on the floor. So, if he's going to do that, I have to make the plays, for us to win. And, I was able to get a hand on the ball. Jordan Bell got, the rebound from that. And, Tyler hit a big shot. And, that's all that she wrote.
No, I agree. The game isn't as simple as just, shooting the ball. There are a lot of things. I thought the rebounding, us winning the rebounding by 7, and I mentioned the second chance points to combat our turnovers was the only thing that kept us in the game. And like I said, the missed free throw that time, and Jordan getting the first one, kicking it out to Dylan, and then the ball kept alive, and Jordan securing it again and kicking it out to Tyler, and then Tyler nails the shot. And so that gives him 1-3, and now he's got the confidence. And then we ran a double drag for him late, and they switched to big on him, and Tyler saw that his hands were down, and he made a decision to let it go. And like I said, I was joking with him, 9 for 10, how the heck did you miss that one shot, But when a player gets that confidence, and the one right in front of our bench was wide open, and Tyler just plant stepped and knocked it down, and then his footwork was great on his last shot. And so Tyler, really finished our plays for us. But again, it's a team effort. It's something that, everybody, Tyler didn't start out really good. He kind of came on in that second half, and, we were able to, to get it done with that rebounding.
Josh.
Josh Peter, USA Today. Tyler, how is it that you've suddenly asserted yourself the way you have late in the season? And I'm hoping, Dana, you could chime in on that too.
It's just my teammates. They've been finding me, and all I've been doing is spotting up and making the simple play and making the right play, the right basketball play. And like Coach always says, keep my focus first on defense and rebounding, and the offense, just let it come. And that's all I've been doing these last couple games. And my teammates been having confidence in me, and I've just been knocking down the shots.
I think the biggest factor is Tyler's a player. He's not just a scorer. And I thought for a while he locked in on his offense, and we weren't getting him the ball enough for a period in the season, and that was my fault. But I really think, like tonight, Tyler gets 5 rebounds. He had 3 steals. When he's playing as a player, not just a scorer, I think that's when he really comes alive. And I mentioned that in the conference tournament. He starts the first game, he gets 9 rebounds, and against Cal, his defensive effort saved us, I just think when he's thinking about himself being a player, the rest of his game comes, and he doesn't focus just on that missed shot or a bad play, because he's a player, that scorer mentality I want him to have, but defense and rebounding, when he focuses on those two, and he becomes a special player. He becomes really special, and that's, I think, why part of the reason he's exploded here lately is that he's been a complete player, offense, defense, and the boards. 5 rebounds and 3 steals today. Those are just not maybe as important as those 2 threes, but pretty close, pretty close.
Tyler, I wanted to ask about that last 3. You kind of looked like you had a thought maybe going for a drive into the bucket, but you just kind of stepped back and took the shot over. How much did you debate that? Did you really think much about making the drive? And then I wanted to follow up with what Coach said about the rebounding. You have to be pretty pleased with both the way Tyler and Peyton rebounded. They got some good boards for you towards the end there.
It was a double drag, and they switched, and the big got on me, and I practiced that hesitation pull-up shot a lot. So in my mind, I was going there, and his hands never came up, and I just let it go. But if his hands would have came up, I would probably think about driving, but that's how I was thinking through that process.
I thought he made a really good read on it. I yelled at him to shoot it because I saw his hands down and I saw his feet were right, and the other one right in front of the bench, I was, I said, hit it, buddy. Just go ahead. And the one, I just saw his feet were right and the guy's hands were down, and I was yelling at him to shoot it, and because I thought it was the right play. But I agree with you that when he gets 5 rebounds and he gets 5 rebounds or anything above that, it helps our team out tremendously. The 7 plus 7 on the boards and the 22-11 second chance points was the difference in this game. And because of our turnovers, we put ourselves in a hole. Our offensive execution was not good today. Their pressure got us out of sorts, and we never had a flow to our offense, and that was all because of them and our bad turnovers.
Could all 3 of you just touch on the atmosphere here in this arena and Sacramento in general as a host city for the NCAA tournament?
Well, all started. We've been treated unbelievable. I love this arena. I think it's a great facility. The locker rooms, everything behind the arena is first class. The crowd was great today. We had a lot of Duck fans here, so that's great. But the city of Sacramento, the people here at the arena, we could not have been treated any better. We've been here since Wednesday. We couldn't have been treated any better the days we've been here.
Yeah, I think the atmosphere is great. The arena, is one of the better arenas I've ever played in. You know, the city's real nice. You know, the weather is better than Eugene right now. Say that much. But you know, it was great playing here. You know, glad we're going back to Eugene, knowing that we get to play on Thursday. But it was great.
Yeah, definitely. This is a great arena. It was a great atmosphere tonight. Good thing we got to play on the West. We had a lot of fans tonight, and we feed off their energy, and when we get it going, and they get it loud, and it was just a great atmosphere tonight.
Tony Harvey, Sacramento Observer. Tyler Dorsey, you guys were down by 11, then you made a 23-10 run, and you know before that, you know Dylan Brooks, he was missing a lot of shots around the basket, but he made like 9 of the 11 points to get you to tie it at 68-68. Can you talk about him? You know, kept coming like a freight train. You know, to get to the basket and make things happen. And of course, you know, he made a couple big threes for you guys.
Definitely. Those were great plays, and he just didn't finish, and we're gonna live with that. And he's always gonna stay in attack mode, and that's what he did. He got to the rim, he draw some fouls, and he draw that 3 foul, and that was some big free throws he hit to continue that run. But he just kept going, and that's what good players are gonna do. They're gonna keep going. It's a 40-minute game, and if the first half doesn't go good, you just got to bounce back in the second half and keep pushing and keep pushing.
Warren Williamson, Oregon Duck Football News. Early in the first half, you guys attacked the rim. Your guard play attacked the rim. Was that by design to get their bigs in trouble? And I want to follow up with Tyler.
Well, they pressure so much that they get you spread out, you know, and it creates some driving lanes. You know, we had a couple really good driving kicks, and they weren't successful. And then we made bad decisions. Then we thought we had to take it and we had to shoot it, and that got us in trouble. You know, a lot of those turnovers came without the ball movement. You know, the defense was set, and we were just going to go make a play. And we weren't very successful doing it after the first couple times because of the ball movement. So we wanted to drive the ball, but we wanted to drive and kick a lot more than what we did. And that's what created a lot of those turnovers.
Tyler, no doubt they're a great defensive team. They switched a lot, and we found you on one of their bigs down low. That was something that you got caught. I guess, how did you defend their bigs on those switches?
Play up the floor and play on the high side and not let them get an easy catch so they can do a quick jump hook or a quick move to the basket. So just playing up the floor, and we practice that every day, and coach preaches that every day. So I was just playing up the floor every time I got switched on the big.
Jerry Thompson, Mighty Oregon Magazine, for Dylan Ennis. On a lighter note, it looks like, so I remember 72-72, and you were talking to Terrell. Both of you were kind of smiling and laughing. Were you just kind of saying how great a game it was, or what were you doing?
Yeah, you know, he was actually talking to us the whole game. You know, nothing too bad. And, you know, he's saying, you know, this is what we live for. And, you know, I think it was a little intense for it to be emotional time, you know, between me and him. But, you know, he's right. You know, we grow up, you know, watching college basketball. And, you know, during the conference games, you know, it's great. But, you know, March Madness is something that, you know, is special. And, you know, these are the type of games that you're going to remember and you're going to tell your kids and your grandkids about one day.
Tyler, Tim Ottis from the Washington Post. Watching you these last couple games, you seem to be a guy that plays with a lot of confidence, both, you know, don't mind talking to people, the way you carry yourself on the court. Is that something you kind of always had, and how does that kind of help you in situations like this when you're down 3 and then tied in the last couple minutes of a game to be willing to take shots in those kind of spots?
My coach, Coach Altman, and my teammates are confident in me, and Coach put the ball in my hand at the end of the game, and I just made the right basketball play, and that's all I did. And they found me on the great rebounds they got in the first 3, and then I felt it going, and then the last one, I just read the play, and I let it go, and it went in. And it was just great, and my teammates and my coaches give me that confidence.
Janie.
Tyler, Janie McCauley from Associated Press. What was going through your mind right after you missed the 2 free throws at 3:36, and probably determined to do something to make up for that after that?
Definitely after the game, I thought about those free throws. But during the game, I had to let it go. There was 2 minutes left, and I just dropped them, and I had to keep playing, and we kept playing, and we kept fighting, and we hit the glass, and we got crucial offensive rebounds, and it went from there, and we got it going. And I just hit some big shots, but it didn't start with the big shots. It started with the defensive rebounds and offensive rebounds to get that.
Josh.
Tyler, from what I read, Tyler, that your maternal grandfather is Greek and maternal grandmother is Israeli, and I just wondered how that heritage has shaped you either on the court, off the court, and what it's meant to you.
My whole life growing up, I will always used to eat Greek food, and my grandmother cooks Greek food, so I've been a part of that culture for a long time. I got to go to Greece a couple times this summer, and it's just great to see that type of basketball as well, and it helps, and I'm just great to have that part of my heritage.
Dylan, can you talk about Stanford Robertson? He came off the bench in the first half, and scored some really big points for the Rams, and then he got it going a little early in the second half, but he kind of waned off a little bit after that. Can you talk about his play?
Oh, no, he played great. Having that spark off the bench, is, big in this tournament. He knew it was a big game, and, he was on the attack most of the game. He hit a few big shots for them. But, he's a young guy, who's going to have a bright future, and, I hope the best for him.
Dana, out here in front, did the officials give you an explanation straight away? Did the officials give you an explanation on Dylan's technical foul? Gave him his second personal. I want to follow up with Tyler, too.
Well, they had warned us. Dylan Ennis got the warning, and we informed everybody on the team not to say anything. Dylan got the tip in and said something, and they teed him. And so we were warned, and that's on him. Unacceptable. We haven't had a tee all year, and that's not the right time to get one. And gave him his second foul. I told him after the game, how would you have felt, in a close ball game like this if that was the difference? And control what you can control. And that was something he should have controlled. I was disappointed. I was disappointed in Dylan, first of all, for getting us in that position. Definitely disappointed in Dylan for that, and sat him for a while. And then he had to play the rest of the half with 2 fouls, and it just put us in a bad spot.
Dylan and Tyler, kind of along that same line, it was no doubt chippy, especially in the second half. Were they doing a lot of talking, kind of egging you guys on, and you guys were talking back? What was going on there?
No, it was just an atmosphere that was real intense, but as Coach teaches us, and us being, Oregon Ducks, we can't get into that. And, I put down myself, being a more experienced guard, I have to keep my cool, with that stuff. And I know the game was intense, but, if we would have lost, then me and Dylan would have really looked at ourselves and, would have been hurt, because those do change games. And, Coach always tells us you can play hard as you want, but, just stay within the, confines of the game. And, I'm sure, for the rest of the year, we won't have that problem again.
And just let our game speak for ourselves, and just go out there and play. If they want to talk, that's not how we play, and Coach always preaches that, so that's all to it.
Coach, I wanted to ask a little bit about this trip through now to another Sweet 16 appearance. What's the difference between this and maybe some of the previous appearances, and what will your routine be? Do you know yet how you're going to travel and that kind of thing?
This is very similar to our first one. I'm very proud of our team. This is our 3rd Sweet 16 in 5 years. And the first one, we had a couple games in San Jose, and then we went to Indianapolis to play against Louisville, who won the tournament that year in a hostile environment. There were a lot of Louisville fans there that night. So now we go to Kansas City. We'll get home tonight. We'll meet tomorrow and start working on Michigan. We'll leave Tuesday after practice. We are in finals this week, so we've got some adjusting to do. We're going to have a crazy week, but I'm sure glad we got it. I'm sure glad we got a crazy week, but we'll get home tonight. We'll get together tomorrow. We'll practice Tuesday and then fly to Kansas City and hopefully be ready to play on Thursday.
One last question.
Yeah, Coach, on that vein, I don't know if the players probably didn't get to watch Michigan. Did you watch any of Michigan before this game? I imagine they watched you.
Just a little bit when I was taking a shower and getting ready. I had it on, but I didn't really watch it. But you know, I watched one of Michigan's games in the Big Ten tournament, and wow, you know, and beating Louisville with their athletes, and you know, I've only faced Coach Beeline's team one time, and it was in the NCAA tournament in Cleveland. He was at West Virginia, and I was at Creighton, and we got beat on a last-second shot by 2. So, and then we did play Michigan in New York 3 years ago. So those were the 2 times, and so they're hard to guard. What he does offensively is really unique and special, and they're a outstanding offensive team. You know, kind of a contrast. Danny, that defense we faced is as good as any defense we faced all year, and their activity, their toughness. That's a well-coached defensive team, and so we were very fortunate today with our turnovers to be able to get that done, because that's a very good defensive team, and 9-game winning streak, and really good players. So we feel very fortunate to be moving on, and we know how difficult Michigan will be on Thursday, and hopefully we'll be ready and be able to give them a good game.
Thank you, gentlemen.